pursuer of Rupert Murdoch and all that, but also the man who said of Ken Livingstone to Labour Party members, hold your nose, but vote for him. Why did you tell Labour people they had to hold their noses to vote for Ken Livingstone?
Well, it was slightly more contextual than that. You won't be surprised to know, David.
What
I said was there is a section of voters in London who said that if there was a general election tomorrow, they would vote Labour. But when it came to the same question about Boris Johnson or Ken Livingstone, they were considering voting Boris Johnson. And so what I simply reminded them was that if they did that, they would allow David Cameron to try and claim a victory on Friday, and they didn't actually want to do that. So the form of words was, if you vote for, hold your nose and vote for Ken, you will help Labour and stop David Cameron. And obviously, that Boris Johnson is a very charismatic guy. He's a potential leader of the Conservative Party. He's very attractive. He's got reach into all three political parties. And I was just simply trying to make the point that he'd be helping David Cameron if he wins.
But what was the hostility among your Labour voters to Ken Livingstone, that you had to tell them to hold their nose?
Well, I don't know whether there has been. We haven't got the results
of that yet. You wouldn't have said it. Well, we know you know what the opinion polls
we pick it up on the doorstep. Look, there are some people you've seen, prominent Labour writers, people like Dan Hodges, a man I've known 25 years, who appears to be saying he's voting Conservative for the first time in his life today. He was voting for Boris Johnson. So I personally would disagree with that, but obviously there is a section of Labour supporters that have decided that they don't want to vote for Ken Livingstone, and I was trying to get a wider context to try and get them to understand there are bigger issues than just the personalities.
And the opinion polls, we don't get this result till, actually it's probably the last result we get, isn't it, tomorrow, because of the...
It could even be 8 o'clock in the evening, so
yes,
we've got quite a long time to wait.
Because of the polling system. Nick Robbins.
Well, obviously the Labour Party have got to say, well, you know, losing the London Mayor has nothing to do with the Labour Party, it's everything to do with Ken Livingstone. They have to, but on the other hand...
We'll take responsibility for it, Nick.
Okay, but I was going to say something helpful to you in a second, but on the other hand, a Tory win in London is also, in a funny way, a little bit of a problem for the Conservative leadership, because people like Gary Street and others who are Tory MPs may say, well, why is Boris Johnson doing so much better than our own party leader? And that will, in a sense, in a curious way, it'd be obviously worse for the Tory party if they lost London, but in a curious way will fuel that debate about, is there a brand of conservatism that is more successful than that? But the Labour Party will have to look hard at why it chose a candidate who turned out to be someone, maybe, if the polls are right.
It might be quite hard to define what Boris Johnson's brand of conservatism is,
well,
you think?
Outspoken, charismatic, and anti-European. Remember, it won't be complicated for Gary Street, who hinted at the need for a referendum on Europe. The one thing they will be absolutely clear about, Tory activists, is that Boris Johnson is tougher on Europe than the government.
Councillors, we've had 1/10 of the council law results in. The Conservatives are currently down 78, Labour up 100.